Morning, it's Amber, Blooms on the Hill, and I've got a wedding this weekend. So it's Thursday, it's just after 7, so fairly early-ish. I am going to go up and open up my greenhouse now because it gets quite warm with the sun as soon as that comes out. I've got to hang up some washing, milk the cow, but I need to harvest flowers for one bridal bouquet. I've got 4 bridesmaids and 7 buttonholes and 1 small buttonhole for a child, and then there's flower petals that I need for 2 flower girls. So not a lot of stuff this weekend, which is kind of good. Not too much stress on this one. I've got some flowers arriving, not a lot, just some roses. I do actually have quite a lot of roses out now, which is good, but when you order from the wholesaler for a special event like a wedding, you need to order fairly far out. It gives them time to find exactly what you need, and I wasn't sure what my roses were going to do. You know, they can easily blow out with the wind or the rain, or there might not have even been any open because mine always are, well, they're later than other places that are lower down than where I live. But there's still quite a few, so I'll use some out of my garden. Any that are blown I'll use for flower petals for the flower girls. But I've got alströmera coming as well in white, and some poppies. I didn't have a lot of poppies, but this bride is wanting sort of spring pastels. The bridesmaids are wearing a very lovely deep rosy pink, so I've got those coloured roses coming, but I certainly will have enough in my garden now, and with what's coming it should be pretty good. So I thought you might want to come along with me. I'll be arranging stuff tomorrow. I'll cut today. There's a couple of things I might cut tomorrow, but well, yeah, come along. It's not a heap of stuff to do. Right, now we're going to go open up that greenhouse. I'm getting a really pretty collection of roses, so hopefully I've got some Vanessa Bells, and that's a Graham Ross, my Bathsheba, the nice apricot one in there, and there's a mix of some others. I think this one's Olivia Austin, those ones. Now this rose here, this colour is very close to what the bridesmaids are wearing. There's perhaps a little deeper. I've seen the photo, and this is a French rose. It's a Sonia Reichel. So if these buds stay nice and closed, these will be good for the groomsmen and their buttonholes. Now I've got another lot of roses along the bottom of my flower patch. This white one here has got some good ones, some nice long stems, and I've got more of this sort of white one in the front, so there's other ones out there I can get, but these are good. And then that'll be certainly enough roses. And I've also bought in 2 bunches of the classic, which are the more sort of Dave and Austin style, and just some smaller ones which are for buttonholes. But honestly, I've got enough roses on my own, but you never know when you're trying to plan the wedding. You just don't know, and it was a backup to order stuff in, which the guy hasn't shown up yet, which is a bit, I don't know, hopefully he does turn up. But anyway, just seen what I'm sure is my flower delivery man drive down the road. From my kitchen window I can see right across the valley and up the road that leads to our place, and it's like the van's coming. So I was a bit worried because he's normally 8:30 and it's sort of like nearly 9 o'clock. Right, so much paper padding everything out because I didn't order much at all, but these roses are called Cosmopolitan. Aren't they amazing? Okay, these ones are called Creme de la Creme, so they're beautiful. What do you think, Jack? I don't care. Alright, I've got white alströmera, and so that'll open up probably a little bit more. Sorry about the noise in here. I've got my husband's washing on. It's my machine's on the spin cycle and the whole room is vibrating. And I got pale pink. It's a bit hard to see them. I'll take them out in the light. But some pretty pale pink. These are the cheapest roses they have, but they're the little buds. So I got these because I was thinking of the buttonholes, but that darker Sonia Reichel will probably be better. But these can still go in there. If I don't use them for the wedding, or this leftover ones, they can go down the bakery, or if I've got any bouquet orders, so it's no biggie. Okay, unpacked everything, and I've just put flowers, they're not on the bench anymore. They're in my son's room. As I said, in my son's room. His room is actually just behind me. It's faces south, and then it's very dark. It's cool, and he actually sleeps in his brother's room, so I can just put flowers in there. You need somewhere cool and dark to store them, so that's good. I've definitely got enough roses, with the ones we've bought, and heaps that I've picked, and some will probably open, but I don't want all roses, so there's going to be some that won't get used, but that's okay. I'm going to go milk the cow now, and it is starting to warm up a little bit. I might pick more stuff after that, but I want some breakfast as well. I'm getting really hungry. Okay, I milked the cow. I've had some bacon and eggs. I feel good. So we're going to start picking. I've got some Sweet William. Amazingly, it's doing better this year. I've got another patch of Sweet William over there. I've got this lovely corn cockle, which is, this is the first time for me having corn cockle, and I've got a blush one down there. I've got larkspur. There's the odd cornflower. There's some really nice Dutch iris. This one, they've got like a blue and white. There's only 2 of those, another one opening up, so that's all right. There's sweet peas, so lots of, there's some blue, there's white, there's pink, lots of that. Lovely foxgloves there, but they're too tall, and it's really annoying because I need those for a wedding that's in 2 weeks' time. But anyway, yeah, so here's the foxgloves. I'm doing meadow boxes for this wedding in a couple of weeks, and hopefully some of these open up later and survive through till then, because I need height for these meadow boxes. So it's just a bit early, guys, but anyway, I've got some scabiosa here, the larger perennial kind for these bouquets, and there's snapdragons. Don't want any orange. There's some status. The straw flowers will open up. The winged everlasting will open up. And then I'm going to attack the front garden, because there'll be little whimsical bits here and there. There's a bit of honeywort still. So a bit of tricolour salvia. So there's lots and bits and pieces we can get. There might be a few anemones. The ranunculus is just a big bag of weeds now. And of course the tulips are all gone. Got my drumstick. Alliums are starting to flower, but I don't know how well that lasts. But we might pick some, just in case it does sort of last. I better sear it and see, but we'll give that a go as well. It's really nice out here today, and I'm quite enjoying harvesting, because it's only the 1 bouquet and then the 4 bridesmaids bouquets, and like it's buttonholes, like, and not a lot of stuff, so there's no stress. I just picked some Chinese forget-me-not, so I've got 5 bits of that, 1 for each of the bouquets, and it's coming along really well. I've got more buckets of flowers, so I've harvested quite a lot. But here's some snapdragons, some bupleurum, which I've never cut before, and this purple is the larkspur, and there's a few different colours in that. So I'll have to sear the Chinese forget-me-not, and I'm just looking at the squelchiness of this bupleurum. I'm thinking I'm going to have to sear that as well. I'm going to get some honeywort, and there's little bits of salvia. But other than that, I think I'm almost about done, because I've got lots of stuff in there. And then, of course, the beauty of having a flower farmer do your flowers for your wedding is if they run out, you can just nick back out into the garden and go and get some more stuff. So this is stress levels way down now that I've got things actually flowering in the garden, because trying to do winter weddings and really early spring weddings are quite difficult, and particularly when you've got to order everything in. So this is really, really good. Yeah, but once again, like, I don't know what these bouquets are going to look like. Not until I start actually doing them do I get some idea. And then once they're finished, then I know what they're going to look like. So this is my 1 peony. It's certainly ready. And it's in my peony patch, which needs to be mowed. Ignore that. But I have weeded it, but it needs to be mowed. This shouldn't have been allowed to flower, but it flowered. I didn't realise it had a bud. So I'm going to pick this one, and hopefully it just stays relatively closed enough. She might as well have it. Morning. Okay, today is flower arranging day. Just checking everything in the greenhouse. It's really hot. It's after 8, so I've got to go milk the cow, always feel like I'm milking the cow, but got to go do that. Might give things in here a little bit of water. It's going to be 27 today. It's really muggy because it's going to be a nice humid day. So we've got to try and keep things cool when we arrange them. And, oh, my husband's seeds are germinating. He'll be excited. Yeah, so we're going to have some brekkie after we do cow and get arranging. Shouldn't take me too long, I don't think. Just a few bouquets and the buttonholes. Oh, fiddly. Yeah, probably longer than I think, but it'll be all good. That bit. Okay, I've got flowers out here now, and I'll show you what I've got. Lots of stuff. All right, I've got some mint. Foliage, I've got, it's the apple mint, so it's a bit softer. I've got the cineraria, some Persian cress, a couple of irises. Got my sweet Williams come along really well this year. I thought the dark one would be nice in the bridesmaids posies because they're wearing that darker rosy pink, which is pretty much this colour, this stock here. Has a nice cream stock. There's a couple of bits of that. There's some large scabiosa, some winged everlasting. There's a handful of ranunculus, which is shorter, but we might be able to use those. There's that gum, which is still holding up nicely. And then up here, well, one piece of white statice, which will go in the bride's bouquet. I ordered in these poppies. Some of them have started opening, so I probably should put the closed ones in, but then I don't know what colour they are, so that doesn't really help me. But anyway, I picked some sweet pea. There's some white, some blue, and there's pink pieces to go with the bridesmaids. Then I've got Chinese forget-me-not, statice, snapdragons, honeywort, and some tricolour salvia. I might have to turn the light on. And then anyway, over this side, swing you around so you don't get seasick, I've got larkspur happening here. Got corn cockle, and I've got some nigella. So it's one bit open, and then there's little bits that are closed, but that's okay. They'll still look nice. And then there's a little bit of that drumstick salvia in there. I'll see how that lasts. It might last okay. I've got roses from the garden. There's quite a lot of those. And then there's the ordered in roses. These ones, which look amazing. And then some ordered in Alstamira, and the little pink roses that I ordered in, which, oh, he's gone a bit saggy. Yeah, so that's everything. All right, so what I usually do is I'll get jars and sort out the flowers into the bridesmaids flowers. So there's 4 of those, and then the bride's flowers, and I won't worry about the buttonholes so much. That's usually, I mean, that's just little bits and whatever's left, but there's still those darker pink flower buds outside. So they will be good for those buttonholes. And then there were 7 of those. So yesterday I bought some little, these little test tube glass things, which I put each of the buttonholes in. I actually ran out of those. I've got my pins ready for buttonholes. Always whack those in the back as soon as you do them so you don't forget. And I also bought some jars for vases. This is what jars as vases. I got these yesterday, just a cheapie shop. They were $4.99 each. I got 10. So I will need 5 for this wedding. They're not enormously tall, so hopefully they stand up okay, but that's just to put each individual bouquet in, and it doesn't matter that I don't get them back because I've got a few weddings coming up this month where I'll need these. So I cleaned the shop out of these, and then hopefully, it's no stress if I don't get them back, but you know, I can give them like too many vases and I just never see them again and it gets expensive. I got some these are little just paper bags because I've got to do the flower petals for the flower girls, so I'll just find something vaguely pretty to put petals in, which I'll do tomorrow. And then I bought 4 of these little wedding cards. They're all the same because I've got 4 weddings this month, so I do like to do up a card, just say, and then thanks for choosing Blooms on the Hill. So sometimes I forget to give it to them, but hopefully I won't. So I'm going to sort out these flowers, put some water in these first. Actually, no, I won't do that. I'll get buckets. I'll put water in buckets. That's better. Okay, as you can see, I'm dividing all the flowers into separate bridesmaids. And then just behind here is the bride's bucket. And it's really, this makes it really, really easy. So I'm just going along and grabbing all the different varieties of flowers and then just going one for you, one for you, one for you, one for you, and doing it like that. So these bridesmaids have got 2 of these lovely pink roses that I ordered in. There's a white one in there as well that I ordered in. And then I've separated, like, they've got each of the colours of roses that I picked. And then sort of, 1 or 2 or 3 or whatever it is of each of the other bits. So I can just go through, you've got one of those. Yeah, just go through like this. And then, see, they can probably have a couple of these each. These tricolour salvias. Bride needs some. Okay, like that in her bucket. Yeah, just go through it that way. It makes it really easy, so you know that you've got your bouquets balanced. And it makes it pretty quick too. Just to throw them all in like that, if that's any help at all. It's just I don't know, it makes sense, but yeah, it's handy. The neighbour rang me and his neighbour's cows have just got out, so we're moving cows off the road. She's most indignant. Right, so I have split up all the material and I've actually used all of it except for what's down there, and then some of these roses here are left. Okay, getting going on the first bridesmaid bouquet. Still got stuff to go, but I'm trying to make sure that things like the colours are all evenly spaced around as much as possible, and also the materials, so that there's a handful of the corn cockle, so we want them not all clumped together but around as much as we can. But so far so good, very spring-like. Okay, that's one bridesmaid. Oh, I like that. This is the best kind of wedding to do, where you've just got bouquets and buttonholes. This is so low stress. I'm just taking my time with them all, and which you do anyway, but I'm not worrying about having to do a whole pile of other stuff. So this is making me happy. I didn't use quite all the material. There's 4 bits left, and one of the roses actually fell apart, one from my garden, so obviously he's been binned, but that's pretty. On to the next. Okay, number 2. Got a bit of sweet pea going on out here. They look enormous, don't they? They're not as massive as they look. Yeah, that rose probably needs to come up a tad, not too much. It's always hard to tell. You need a mirror. I've got a mirror. I'll go and look in it. Oh yeah, no, I'm happy with that one. Keep going. Okay, this bouquet has given me no end of grief. Sometimes it just happens. You go to put flowers together and they just don't sit right, and then they don't. It's because the stems are all straight out of a garden, and sometimes they just don't. See, it looks a bit better now, but I actually had to pull it apart and just do it again, start again, because I was losing my mind. But it's seeming to be a bit better now, but it just, yeah, something about it. But anyway, I'll have to step back from this one. I think it needs to go back into water. Okay, last one. It's taken me quite a while to do all of these because I'm just being extra. Oh, you're kind of popping out the side a bit. Need a bit more string. Yeah, I'm going to have a break now. I'm going to have a cuppa and then get to the brides. So that's just 2 buckets of stuff. So I'm not going to use all of that. I can see that happening because you just sort of run out of hand space, but also it'll just get too big. Yeah. Now, I usually start every bouquet I do with a piece of foliage, just so it's on the outside. This is the apple mint, which is really, it's a nice older piece, nice and sturdy. Now my stems, I haven't actually really gone through and stripped a lot of the foliage off them. if you're not good at holding big bunches of flowers in your hand and then stripping as you go, which I tend to do a bit of that, but I haven't really done that. It's okay, I can manage. And then I generally go with like a piece of status. It's nice and sturdy as a base, like to really hold everything sort of together and build on top of that. Yeah, and since there's such a kaleidoscope of colours that I'm trying to kind of mix it up a little bit. The one thing that's a real absolute bugger, I've actually separated things into an extra. See me struggling here. It's because of the sweet pea. The tendrils tend to catch and twist around everything else. It's so annoying. But I'm trying to keep it colours mixed. And also the roses, because there's quite a few roses. And I'm trying to spread them out amongst the bouquet. So that's proving to be a little bit of a challenge. But that's those beautiful, what were they called? I think they were called Cosmopolitan. These roses, I think. Anyway, they're amazing. And I want those to sit up a little bit higher than some of the other ingredients. Probably don't need the leaves in so much. And what colour are we going to go for? So there's lots of extra stuff for this one, and I'm not even sure that all of it's going to end up in there. Bit of Scabiosa, he's lovely. Sort of like a few things with sort of pop up a bit above the main bouquet, so there's sort of slightly different levels. What do we go for? This is that Dusty Miller. That's really pretty in with pastel flowers. And these little bud things do end up with yellow flowers, but they're nicer like that. But anyway, I usually get no rhyme or reason to what I'm doing. I just wing it as I go. Got a really nice big piece of stock. So that's going to want to stand up a little bit. It'll be tucked down. I don't want it up, but yeah, up a bit. And on the edge it'd be nice so that you can really see all those florets of that. Yeah. And then I'll just keep going, I suppose. See if I can get one of these. So these poppies will open. So that one was the longest stem. They sort of might need to go in the middle, that little fellow. But you've got to be careful with those because they're very delicate. You don't want to have, like those ones that were really open, I wouldn't want to use those because they'll just blow. Because the wedding's tomorrow, but yeah, by the time, because they actually opened up in my son's bedroom in the dark. Bit of gum. Trying to intersperse some foliage in amongst there, which is nice. Now we're going to need to go for a few more roses. Oh, this is a nice one. This is my Bathsheba, and it's got this big bit on the top I'm going to have to cut off. Snips. Be very careful when you're cutting extra bits that you don't end up cutting something that you're not supposed to cut. I've done that before. Here we go. And these, working with flowers out of the garden, you'll find that your bouquet kind of does what the flowers want it to do, because like stems aren't like this. The roses I bought from the wholesalers, so they've got these crazy straight and enormous stems. They're like 60 centimeter stems, really straight, much easier to work with. But you've got these roses with kinks and bends in them, and so they've got to go where they want to go, because this one's kind of got a bit of an this way facing. So you just sort of have to let the flowers dictate really what's going to happen in here. Anyway, got a nice piece of pink status. It's the little apricot. It's only a tiny piece of that. It's kind of a bit bendy outwards. And I'll whack it because the flowers were growing. It was growing on the side. It was lying down a bit, so the florets have sort of gone up towards the sun. So he can actually go, as I said, working with the direction that the flowers want to go. That one can go there on the side. Anyway, I'll keep plugging because this will get really tedious to watch me doing this, and I'll show you how I go at the end. Now it's chugging along, but the peony, got to make sure I remember to put that in, and I want that sort of roughly center ish, because it's going to be the feature. Not quite like dead center. I want it sort of just center to the side a bit. I think will look better. I mean, nothing is going to impede the view of it as well. So pop him in a little bit. Oh, that's such a pretty flower. It's got these beautiful, you see like the dark raspberry bits, little splashes in there. They're so lovely. I can't wait for my paddock of peonies. A couple of years and I'm just going to have peonies everywhere. It's going to be amazing. Okay, right. I'm not finished yet, but I'm actually really happy with that. I'm going to tie it off because my hands are really little and I'm struggling to hold this, and I still want to add some snapdragons. Lots of material left, but I've still got to add some bits, I think. Whether or not I want to add, actually before I do that, I sort of do want to pop a couple of things down the centre, like this dark cornflower. Just sometimes you can sort of thread things in, like in amongst stuff. I may or may not get all the bits in here that I, a little darker pop of purple down here. Got this pink snapdragon that's really, he's a bit kooky though. He went a bit kooky because it was searching for the light. It's a bit lurid, so I don't think we'll use him. And there was a rose there that I discarded because it was a bit gnarly. I haven't put an iris in. The bridesmaids have got irises. I've managed to get one poppy in there. Don't know if I'm going to get the others. They're quite short. That's okay. Don't know if I'm actually going to get, oh no, maybe on the edge here. Oh, my hands. Oh, it's such a workout, I swear. Get that in on the side. I don't know if he does much though. He sticks out a bit much. He'd probably be better on the inside. I don't think I actually really need him, to be honest. Maybe. Okay. I think I'm done. I can't possibly fit anything else in there, but there's I had such good stuff that I wanted to use most of it. Anyway, so I'm not too sure which. I think this might be like the side with the sweet pea. Maybe he's flicking out the side. I usually do a lot of bouquets that end up with a bit of a sweet pea drape with the foliage. And there we go. I just got to trim those stems. I'll add a bit more string down here, and then I'll do some ribbon and pick off all the bits and tidy it up. Okay, so I've gone with the Sheba for the dads, and then I saw this Vanessa Bell, and I reckon I'll do that for the groom. It's just soft lemon, and then that's for the little page boy, and then there's 4 of those to match the groomsmen. So the bride did say yes, let's match him up with the others, so I can do those now. And there's heaps of flower petals out there that, because we've had a bit of rain, so there's lots of rose petals I can collect for these flower girls. Okay, so that's the 4 groomsmen. Always handy having the test tubes, and then you can transport them in a jar. I'll probably fit 3 in there, I hope. Well, that one's going to fall. And then the page boy is the same, but he's minus the gum and the bit of salvia. Just because it's supposed to be smaller. So I'm happy with those. I hate doing them. They're so fiddly. But I'm happy with how they look. All right, the 2 fathers, the dads, they're similar. One's just got a slightly darker cornflower. So I might go for this one for the father of the bride, I think. Yeah. Okay, I've got just the groom to go, and then that's it. It's just before 4 o'clock. I thought this was not going to take me any time at all, but it took me all day. Admittedly, I did have to go and chase cows, so I suppose there's probably not many florists that have to deal with that kind of shenanigans during their day. So, and then I had to harvest stuff for all these little guys. So just one more. Yeah, tip when you're doing buttonholes, because I tie mine up with string, so I use the jute string, and it's nice and grippy. You can wire them, of course. Just make sure you cut like a fairly big piece of string. You think, oh, I don't need a big piece of string for a little thing, but you want to wrap it around a few times, and then it gets fiddly. If your ends are too short, you've just got, like, your fingers turn into like giant hams when you try to tie little tiny knots. And it's just, yeah, give yourself lots of string to work with. Okay, this is what I've come up with for the groom. So it's certainly different anyway. They're all such, pretty colours, but I mean, that's the colours of all the brides and the bridesmaids, and so try to make them slightly masculine, but it doesn't really work. Anyway, there's the dads, the page boy, the groomsmen. I think I'll just have to label them all though, because I've got to drop off all the boys and then one of the dads, and so we want the groom. I think you can tell that that's for the groom, but I'll label them anyway because, well, men, they probably would put it on backwards. But anyway, it's all good. Okay, done. So bridesmaids, bride. Morning. Okay, so today's delivery day. Everything's done. So all the bouquets are done. They've got their ribbons, they're in their vases, and I'm really happy with all of that. I just need to trim the stems on the buttonholes. Sometimes I forget to do that, and then you look at the lapels in the photos and the buttonholes and think, oh, they're just a fraction long. So I've got to do that. My husband very kindly cut some flower heads off. So I just need to pull these petals off and pop them in a bag. And then we have to deliver, so I need to leave in about an hour, and it's about an hour and a quarter to get to where I'm going, and I've got to drop off buttonholes first to the boys and then go on to the brides. So that's it. That's it. Done and dusted. I'm going to take some photos of these too. So the light's not great today. It's so overcast. It's rainy. It's horrible. It's not a great day for the bride, but anyway, I hope it clears tiny. I think it's supposed to rain a lot, but anyway. So I'm going to take photos. Make sure you take photos of all your work. I'm going to do that. And I will see you next week because I have another wedding, but it's only a really tiny mini one. It's just a bouquet and a buttonhole. So we'll do that next week. I'll see you then.